is Janice Davies. Today I wanted to talk about one of the things that is causing a lot of concern with people, and that's obviously the coronavirus. I've been nudged to do this. Hold on, I just make myself gorgeous as I like to. I've been nudged to do this, and what does this mean for you? It means that someone somewhere needs to hear one of these tips. And nudge to me means that I'm clairvoyant. I get messages a few other different ways as well. And so today, oh, look at my hair. That's because I was racing around trying to find iPhones and things. So I do. And whether you believe that's God or higher power or divine masters, whoever you want to believe, I did believe it was God. I still believe it's a God, a higher power up there. There's lots of different people that I'm receiving messages from. And the messages are all really about how to make the world a better place. So for a start, if we look at what's happening now with the virus, it's causing a lot of fear and worry and scare tactics and concern and health issues and everything like that. And I've got this which I've shared in all of my lives. And this here is where we're anxious and worried down here, and our energy drops. Now, when our energy drops, we have lots of negative thoughts. We don't feel okay. We get depressed. We get anxious and things like that. So what I want to do with these tips today, my intention is that as I give you some tips, that you're going to kind of keep staying up here. Now, anytime your thought does go into worry or fear, what you can do is turn that around as quick as possible. And so I'm going to give you a tip for that, and also some other things that you're going to do. Now, because we've just had problems with Facebook Live, and the internet, I haven't been able to complete the little poster I was going to do. So I will be posting these up for you so that you can follow them and copy them down as well. I can't see if anybody's joined in, so I'll just present this. There will be a replay, and you can watch it later on as well. I'm also going to pull a few cards at the end. The cards were going to be for people that put their names in. If you comment on this, it might come up on my iPhone and I will draw a card for you. Otherwise, I'm just going to draw 3 cards that are going to be for everybody. So what we're looking at is how do we keep our thoughts positive? And first of all, it's what we can, understanding it's what we can change and what we can't change. We can't change that the virus is a global, causing global concern. We can't change that here in New Zealand we go into lockdown at midnight tonight and we've got to stay inside or in our own bubble, as they call it, for 4 weeks and not mix with people, have 2 meters between everybody and things like that. So we've got that happening. It's happened in Italy earlier. I think it's still there, and it's happening in other countries, but it's happening in New Zealand. So what they're trying to do here is stop it. Now, we can't do anything about the virus. We can do something by locking down the country. So when you are thinking about what's happening, it's what can you do? What have you got in control for yourself that you can do? And it's all the things that they've talked about, which is the cleaning hands, the distancing from people, all those things are the most important things. But then we want to look at what you can do as well with regard to your own health. And so if it's got vitamin C, you can take extra vitamins. It's eating healthy food, not junk food. It's not going out and making your body unhealthy by drinking or smoking or doing too much junk food, because that's going to bring down the energy of your body. And what we're wanting to do is to take it up. So it's like, what can you change? What can't you change? You can change how you react to it. You can change how you think about it. And what as I follow a lot of the top speakers and gurus, and Eckhart Tolle, and was saying, well, it is a spiritual awakening. So if we look at it from that perspective, everyone's been sort of pulled in to sort of live in their own little world, albeit with an opportunity to learn about themselves, with an opportunity to go out and create a better, healthier person within themselves, to go and find the things that they like again, like the beach walking or the walking in nature or planting vegetables or growing vegetables, and actually finding a better version of themselves. And so that's when we look at our heart, our soul, our mind, and an action, and all aligning. So definitely, people are saying that it's a spiritual awakening for humanity. Other people are saying that I've got another lady, and she channels, one channels Archangel Michael, another lady's channel Jesus, and they're sort of saying, so that's some messages from upstairs. They're sort of saying that similar sort of things. We've got planets aligning. We've got messages that are coming that it's going to stop sooner than we think, and then we've got, in other words, people saying it's going to take all year. So, you know, I've had somebody say it's going to be most of it's going to be over in April. Well, wouldn't that be fantastic? So if we think about that, that would be great. So what you can and can't change. It's a spiritual waking. You learn about you to become a better version of yourself out of it. And so some of the things that you can do, and this is a quote that's been around for years, and I remember writing this in I was at work in this meeting, and I've had this quote for years, but it's actually out of the Bible, and somewhere out of the Bible, so somebody told me, and I was at the meeting, and people were talking a whole lot of rubbish. And I kept writing down, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, because I mean, the meeting was absolute trash. So write this down for yourself, this too shall pass, and this will pass. So the virus is not going to be around forever. It's going to be contained. There is going to be solution. So just as one of the second tip is reminding yourself, writing this down, this too shall pass, and repeating that to yourself as well if you are starting to get anxious. So Hay House have, which is Louise Hay, and what they've come up with. And look, I mean, everyone's coming up with the same sort of things, but it's who you're listening to get your information from. But all the light workers, and the light workers are the people that are wanting to make the world a better place. And I'm one of them. I've been one of them all my life, I suppose. Took me a long time to actually embrace that. But what they're saying is that repeat an affirmation, and so you could just keep repeating this. Write it down as well. I'm healthy, strong, capable, and confident. I am healthy, strong, capable, and confident. So what's what that is doing for you is removing the negative thought that you have in your mind and replacing it with a positive thought. Now, for that thought to stay constant, you've got to create a new neuro pathway in your brain. So the more that you repeat it, the more that affirmation overcomes your negative belief that's possibly lodged in your subconscious mind that you don't even know about. So it's using an affirmation, writing it down, on your phone, next to your bed, places so that you can just keep repeating that, because that too is controlling. That's now controlling your mind. Now, one of the other things too is I can't even write. Oh, okay, so I wrote these down in a bit of a hurry. So one of the things that you can do is to pray. Now, for me, I mean, definitely I've had so many weird and strange things happen in my life. I have been down on my knees and prayed because I thought, what the hell is going on? And what it's done, it's made me feel better because I've passed it over to a higher power. Didn't know who I was passing it over, but I was actually asking for help. And we find that often people will, they may not go to church every week, but when something catastrophic happens, they start to pray and ask for help. The idea is that eventually we're just going to ask for help all the time and pray all the time. Now, I kind of still pray. I don't get down on my knees and pray very often at all, but I'll go walking along the beach, and I just have a chin wag to the chaps upstairs, as I say it, and just ask them for some help or what my intention is for something or what I need. And I'm just kind of verbalizing it out there, and ask for help for people, and it just makes me feel better, and they are listening. So by praying, or just having a chin wag, as I say to the chaps upstairs while you're walking on the beach, whenever, in the shower, nobody's listening to you. It makes you feel better. So tip number 4, and I think I got this from Hay House, so it may have come from Oprah, I'm not quite sure. It's using gratitude to calm yourself. And you can write a list of 7 things that you're grateful that you can breathe. You're grateful that you are alive. You're grateful that you have got control of your mind. You are grateful, whatever. So the more gratitude, and Oprah's really big into gratitude. I just say thank you all the time for kind of things, or something happens, I'll say thanks. And that's gratitude as well. But if you write down a gratitude journal and start to write things down that you're grateful for, and keep on writing and keep on writing, again, that's putting you into a positive mindset. Now, Heart Math, from the USA have done research, and what it shows is that when we are anxious, our heart is like this. So our body is in turmoil and we're feeling stressed and anxious. When we appreciate or when we are grateful, our heart goes like that. So it means that our body is in a much calmer state. So by appreciating gratitude, it's putting your body into a healthier state than it would have been if you were stressed, anxious, depressed, worried about what's going to happen. And the other thing too, and I was listening to a meditation from Eckhart Tolle, as I say, but some people say Tolle, and he's written about the power of now. Now, this nanosecond. Now, what's gone before us earlier today and for the rest of our life has been and gone. We cannot do anything about it. We can change our thoughts about it. We can say, out of that negative relationship, I learned that I should be more, should be more empowered. Out of that job that I lost, I learned that I need to upskill myself so I get a better job. So the past has been and gone, and all those negative experiences that you've had are opportunities for you to learn. Because we are here on earth to learn to become our best version of ourselves. And that means that all the crappy, shitty, bloody awful things that happen, that we don't appreciate them when they are happening to us, are opportunities for us to learn. So when we have learnt that particular lesson, that, for example, we needed to upskill ourselves to get a better job, we needed to be more empowered and boost our confidence so that we didn't attract and have crappy, shitty relationships, then our next relationship, once we learn about things, and our next job are better because we learnt that lesson. So that's the past. We've got to learn from the crap and shit. Now, right now, this very nanosecond, it means we've got a future, we've got a possibility with the thought that we think, the actions that we take with our feet and our hands, and the words that we speak, so that in the future we're going to have a better life. We're going to have things that we want in our life. Now, we can only do that in this very second now. We can't do it in the next second because we don't know, that hasn't happened yet. So the future that you are creating for yourself is depending on what you're doing this very, very nanosecond. So if you're thinking negative thoughts and you don't do anything about it, you're going to stay negative for longer and longer and longer and longer. If you decide that you're going to use the affirmation, I'm healthy, strong, capable, and confident, you've made a positive decision that your future is going to be better because now you are starting to think positive. So living in the now, even though we don't know what's in front of us, and it's easy to worry and concern, and it will sort itself out. But now it's like, as long as you're doing a positive action right now, this minute, you're not going and doing a bender on drugs or alcohol or something like that, because that's negative and that's not going to go and get you anywhere. But if you're doing something positive, and learning right now is the best thing that you can do, is how to create a better positive future for yourself. So the decision, the action you take in this very nanosecond. So it's living in the power of now. From Eckhart Tolle. Right, okay. So I think I might be up to number 5 or 6 now because I've added some extras in. One of the things is that our body is made up of energy. Besides everything else, we have an energetic field. You've probably heard of, you've maybe heard of meridians, and within our body are energy fields that we need to keep flowing. And we know that, drinking water, and I'm going to drink some more water because it's a bad habit of mine that I don't drink enough. By drinking more water, it's keeping our bodies filtered, healthier. And so there's a process called EFT, Emotional Freedom Tapping, and there's a lot about it. Nick Atner. If you just put tapping or EFT tapping into Google, you'll find Nick Atner, I think it is, has just done a worldwide summit about it. And in there, and he will have it just came through in my email the other day, about tapping for anxiety. And what you're doing with that tapping is you're tapping on meridian points and pressure points in your head and your face. Basically, you acknowledge what happens and then you do a tapping to release it. And it's excellent. It's fantastic. I've done tapping myself, and I've raised money with tapping because I had to think outside the square box for an opportunity, and an opportunity came and it helped me to work on my big project. So tapping. Tapping, it's excellent, and you'll find that if you just Google it. There's lots and lots of videos by Nick, plus lots of other people, and use those. Live in the now, we've talked about that. Okay, so staying safe. So everybody has to stay safe here in New Zealand. So what we've got to do is stay in, well, we don't have to stay indoors, we've got to stay in our own little bubble. So we're allowed to go out and buy food and petrol, and those in the essential services are allowed to go to work. Now the time is 2:22, and I'm just going to share. 2:22 is a very spiritual time. Where's my numbers gone? Oh, they've fallen off. Oh, here they are. Sorry, ladies, I'm just leaving. Okay, so 2:22. It is a time, and it represents balance, harmonious, powerful time, hidden power, spirituality, guidance, listen, balancing, manifesting, and miracles. So we've just had that time, 2:22. I'm doing a live at that time, so I'm pushing all those out to you as well, and I want some as well. So it's learning about what all these things mean. So staying safe, it's what you have to do, and it is all the health regulations that we've been asked to do as well. So so it's being sensible now. Now we've talked about can and can't change. The other thing that I just wanted to talk about was anytime you're starting to think negative at all, the best thing, and I started this 30 years ago when I started Held My probably that time, when I started this journey, is to read a positive quote. So I would have books with quotes in, and I'd just open it, and I would always think, well, whatever the quote is that I am reading is what I'm supposed to hear. So any of those sorts of things are really, really good. And what it's doing is it's just stopping your brain thinking a negative thought. Oh no, that is one. No, it's not. Versus... So it's stopping thinking a negative thought, and it's putting a positive thought into your mind. The other one that you can do is, and I learned this when I had teenage daughters and I'd always worry about them, is that I would, on my forehead, I would see a big black no, like, block letters, and I would think, no, I'm not going to think that thought. Like I'll be thinking, oh, they're going to get into trouble and have an accident or something, and I'd think, no, I'm not going to think that thought, and then I would replace it with a positive thought. Now that no, I'm not going to think that thought, would kind of stop my brain, and it puts it into neutral, and then you replace it with a positive thought, and it was like, oh, they're going to come home safe and well, and they did. But while I was thinking negative, I was putting negative energy out there.